Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to work on Teachable Machine, train few images to create some models, and set up an online database with Supabase. And we are going to fetch the values from Supabase to construct 3 to identify the models and recognize the people or the items. So to give you a brief about Teachable Machine, so it's a model where you can train images to recognize some people or items. So there are different modules like we can also do for audio and different things. But today in this video we are going to focus on only images, right? So this is the website. Teachable Machine is from Google. So what we are going to do, so I'll show you a demo. I have already created one, and once you see how it works, then we are going to see how to implement it in construct 3 in step by step. Okay, all right, so let me run this one, make it full screen. Okay, so as of now it's very simple basic one. I did not work on any UI or designing part. Okay, so here you can see two models. So these two models are being fetched from the database. Okay, so if we add more models, you can fetch from the database. So this list keeps on piling up, right? So let's go with the first one. If I click OK, it will take a moment. It switches on the camera, and yes, here we go. So it says, so it's able to recognize me. So the ratio is like CD plus mobile, it is showing as 1. So if I show with me and my mobile, it shows 1, almost 1. So if I remove it, it reduces and it shows more of me. But this model, maybe I did not train it properly. But let's go to the next one. So if I select the next one, let's click on OK. Okay, so now we can see the next model. I trained it well. So you can see it shows 1 as 1 in the sense 100%, and Sudeep plus book. So I trained including with this book. So if I show it with the book, it shows me like Sudeep plus book is 100% almost. If I remove the book, it's Sudeep is 100%, right? So let's see how to do it. I'm going to add one more, train one more model and add it to the database, and you can see that will be fetching here, and we can see how it works. Then later on we can go to the coding and see how to implement it. Okay, let's refresh this page so that the camera switches off. All right, so this is the page. First I'll call the class as Sudeep, the first class, and I'll switch on the camera. Okay, if I hold to record, all right. So the next one, let's go to the second class. We'll call it as Sudeep plus. I have few games, Tomb Raider or something like that. So let's train with these objects. I'll call it as TR. Okay, let's switch on the camera here. Okay, done. Let's click on train model. Okay, let it complete the process. Okay, done. So now it is saying 100% it's me, Sudeep, and if I show this one, it says Sudeep plus TR, which is Tomb Raider video game, right? So if I remove it, it shows 100%. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to export this model, upload. Choose the first one, click on upload my model. So in the meanwhile, I'll open Supabase. Okay, let me sign in. Okay, so I have already created one. Let's go to that, and I have already created a table for that. Okay, so let's go to the table editor. So the table I have created is called models. I'll insert a new row. So ID created it, you don't need to edit. So once this is done, copy this link, paste it here, save it. Okay, so now we have three models. Let's try again. If we run this game, we should get three models now, not just two. You see that? Now it is the third one. So it's easy for you if you have it in remote place. Otherwise, you can also download it. You have an option to download the model, but let's go with this one. It's easy and more convenient if you have a model uploaded in the cloud. Okay, so let's make it full screen. So let's pick the third one. Okay, so let's click on OK. Okay, now we can see it says Sudeep 100, whereas Sudeep plus TR is 100. So if I remove this one, you see that if I show it like partial, it can pick up, right? See that? Right, so this is very basic example. With Teachable Machine you can do a lot more things, but we're just going to stick with the basics, and it's up to you how do you want to evolve the app as per your requirement. Right, so this is done. Okay, so I'm going to provide the link to this project in the description. You can get it from there, and also you'll not have the Supabase links or anything in the project I provide, so you'll have to link it by yourself. You can also set it up with Google Sheets as well, but Google Sheets we already have a tutorial. You can find it in Construct 3 tutorials, how to fetch data from Google Sheets. But let's stick with the database. Supabase is much more secure than Google Sheets, right? So if anyone has access to the link, then anyone can download the data. But anyways, this is a small demo project, but it depends upon what kind of project you're building. So you require more robust and secured databases. All right, so let's close this project. Let's create a new one.
We have published a game called Life in the Machine. If you are one of our followers, you might already know about the game. And if not, Life in the Machine is a detective game that requires someone with tremendous skills to investigate a murder mystery, find clues, interrogate suspects, and find the criminal. The game is available in two versions. The Android version is on Google Play Store and Amazon App Store, and the Windows version is on itch.io and Steam. It is known that only a person with critical thinking can solve the case. Can you solve the case? Links in the description.
Okay, I'll call it as TM, which is Teachable Machine, and YouTube. Create one. All right. So in the Teachable Machine, let me open this one again. So I need the code. So in order to set this up, we need to set up the code. Alright, let's do it once again. So I'll just add some simple data. Okay. Okay, so this is the program we require. Alright, so let's copy step by step. So till here we are going to paste it in the HTML element, so just like we did in our previous video. So we worked on media pipe, right? So media pipe, and we set up the background image in a video call, right? So we are going to do similar to that. So but it is little different, but not complicated. So first let's set up the layout. Okay, so I'm going to add a new element called HTML element. Let's have it here. Okay, so let's copy this code from here, the top 3 part. Okay, so on button click we don't need this one because we are going to write script within construct. Okay, till here it's fine. So if I run it, you will see that here below you will be able to see the video once we set up the project. Okay, so let's create a script. Okay, we don't need any of these items. So I'll call right. So here copy from here to here. So all the content within the script and paste it here. Okay, so here is the URL to pick up the models. So the URL, this has to be changed to these URLs. Okay, so we'll do that in a moment, but let's see the program. So this is the models and this is the metadata. So from that URL it fetches the model and metadata. So it's in JSON format. You can also download the files and add it here, but I prefer to fetch it from online. It's more convenient, and the game size or the project size does not increase, so I found it more convenient. Alright, so this is where the images will be loaded. You can see the text, right? Sudeep 100% or Sudeep plus book is 100%, right? So these are the documents where it loads that, and also there are different functions to make the program run smoothly, but let's not get into much details. Let's keep it simple. Okay, so I have pasted the program here. Okay, so now what I will do is I will set up a new database. Okay, let's create a new project. I'll call the project as TMYT. For now I'll set up the project password as simple as possible, so that okay. Okay, so it's up to you what kind of name or database or region you chose. So I'm selecting the free plan. So I'm creating the project now. Okay, see this is the project configuration URL and JWT secret. So it is generating the API keys now, so it is very much required to fetch the details. Okay, so you need this one, anon public. So copy this one, go to construct, go to event sheet, create a global variable and say API underscore anon string and paste it here. Okay, so similarly copy the API link. Okay, so this is how. So one thing is we need to fetch these into the project. So for some reason I downloaded these things into the construct and I tried to load the script, but for some reason I'm getting an error, so export error. So that is why I did not include it now. So what we are going to do is we are going to add the script, so these two items into the index file when we export the project, right? So we are going to look at it later. So what I'll do is, let me copy these two. I'll add it here, add below source links in the index.html file. Okay, so these two, let me comment them as well so that it will not interrupt the program. Done. Temporarily I'll save it here, tmyt. Okay, so as of now I can't test the game, the project in construct. The reason is that because these two items are not being loaded in construct, so that is why it works externally. So that is why I'm using is.io to run the program. Okay, so now this project setup is done. So what we have to do is we have to fetch the details from Supabase. Okay, let's continue with the database. Let's create a table. Okay, create a new table. I'll call it as models. So there are two common models, which is ID and created day. So these two are common. Let's create a new one. So I'll call it as link, and link, let's have it as text. Save it. Okay, so this is done. Let's add a new row once we're done with training models. Okay, so I hope till here it's clear, right? So let's go back to Teachable Machine. Let's create 3 models or 2 models. So let me refresh this page. Okay, so I'll call the class as Sudeep. First one is Sudeep. So I'll switch on the webcam. You can also use images, but I prefer using webcam. Okay, let's go to the second class. Sudeep plus same. I'll use the Tomb Raider. Okay, let's train the model now. Okay, so the first model, it says Sudeep, and the second one, if I open Tomb Raider, it says 100% for Sudeep plus TR. Right, now let's export this model. Okay, it's taking little time. Okay, in the meanwhile, what we'll do is let's add few more items. I'm sorry, I created a script. Okay, in objects, let's add Ajax. Okay, what I will do is wait, let this complete, only then we can work on it. Okay, so let's add a new row. So ID, I'll keep it blank because it will automatically pick up the ID. So I have added the link here. Save the link. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to fetch this through API. So if I go to API, so you will find that option here. So go to the tables and view section, you can see models. Okay, so this is how you can fetch the models. So instead of JavaScript, I'll go to Bash. Okay, so there are different options. So I want to go with read all rows. Okay, copy this one. Instead of API link, let me replace with this one. Okay, so let's go to the start of the layout, I'll make a Ajax request, choose post to URL, and I'll add a tag saying um, models or fetch models. Okay, so this should be API link and method should be get. Okay, so before this one, you need to add authorization header. So we'll have to follow this step. First one should be API key, header should be API key, and the next one should be Supabase key. Supabase key is nothing but API underscore anon, and the second header is authorization. So this is authorization, and you have to set a bearer space Supabase key. Okay, so instead of value you have to add bearer space, and this is the Supabase. Okay, so let's see if this works. I'll call Ajax on completed fetch, what did I name it, fetch models, right. Okay, let's create a browser, let's add a browser element. Sorry, browser log. So it should be ajax dot last data. Let me run this project. So if I see F12, you see that now you can see the data here. It is fetching the data from the table. So as of now we have only one information, one row in the table, right? So that is what it is fetching now. So this is in JSON format. We'll have to use JSON to get the values. Okay, so if I go to JSON online editor, you can see it properly. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So we should fetch this link. So link is the key and this is the value. We'll have to fetch it and show it in the drop down. So I'll create a list. I'm sorry, not this one. Okay, so we have to add the tables into this item, this list. So once we fetch the models, let's do one thing. Let's clear the list at the beginning itself, because it will have list 1, 2, 3 items. So we have to clear the list. We can also do it manually, but I am doing in the events because once you create more models, it will help you to remove the clear the list as per the requirement. Okay, once we fetch the models, what I want to do is I want to add this to JSON. So let's add it to JSON parse ajax dot last data. Okay, so this is clear, I guess. So let me do debug layout and I should see the information in JSON. You see that? Done. And what I will do is I'll create a sub event and I want to insert the link into the drop down list. So I'll go to JSON. I have to select for each. Path is default. So if you want to choose the path, for example ID, if you click on ID, so 0 ID will be the path, but we want the parent level path which is blank, so I left it blank. Okay, list, add item head, index is JSON dot current key. I think it should be string. Okay, sorry, it should be int. and the value would be json dot get json dot current key and dot link. Okay, so what I'm doing is the index json dot key, so this would be the key 0, and at 0 I'm picking link. Okay, link, so 0, that would be 0 dot link, so which is 0 link, right? Similarly, if there are more, then it will keep looping until it add all the items. Okay, let's see if it works. Okay, so it is picking up, you see that. Also, we'll have to create a button. I'll say start. So when I click on start, I'll have to run this function init. So here should be init. Okay, so far so good. I hope it's not confusing, it's easy to understand, right? So in this module we have focusing on how to not just setting up Teachable Machine, but also we are looking at creating online database and fetching the details through API with Ajax, right? I'm not sure how many people are aware of it. But I see uh, some of us are having difficulty to work with the API, but it's as simple as that. If you just now you saw, it's very easy to implement it, right? Okay, so once the button is clicked, so the Teachable Machine program should run. So that is what we have set up now. Okay, so here we should have the model ID, model URL. So where is it? Yes. Okay, so this is what we have to do, and we don't need this one anymore because it's, oh, I'm sorry, right, let it leave it that way. Okay, so this is good, right? So far it's good. So let's export the project and test it in itch.io. Export the project. Okay, let me create a new project. So anyways, I have to give a link for you to access this project, right? So let me create a new project. I'll call it as Teachable Machine. Okay, construct 3. Excuse me. So let me set the project as Teachable Machine. Okay, fine. Okay, so let me download this project. Okay, so I'll call it as Teachable Machine. Let me save this project here. Okay, so at the beginning I have told you that we'll have to add the source URLs in the index, right? So go to index, open with notepad, go back to the project, copy these two, paste it at the bottom. So make sure you remove that. So this is um, commenting out. So I just added these two at the bottom. Copy, save it. Let's again zip it. Okay, let me rename it to Teachable Machine. Okay. Alright, so let's upload these files. Okay, so this is 1 second. Where is it? It should be HTML. This is not source code. Okay, I'm sorry, here it is HTML, and this file will be played in the browser. Yes, save it. Okay, let's run the game. Okay, let me add a full screen option also. Okay, so here you can see the model. Okay, let's start. Okay, first let me switch this one off. Okay, let me try again. See if we have any errors. Init is not defined. Okay, I think this should not be a main script. This should be import for events. Okay, let me export it again. Okay, again open the index file, open the notepad, and copy these two items. Okay, make sure you remove these two, save it. Okay, let's upload the project now. Okay, okay, let's run it. Let's see if we run into any errors. Okay, so let's click on start. Okay, so this is working. So you can see it shows 1 if I am only there. If I use the Tomb Raider, so it shows me plus Tomb Raider as 100, right? So this one is working. So the next step is that we'll have to fetch link from here. So as of now it is hard coded, so we have to fetch link from there and add, we need to add more models into the table. And yeah, that's all. You don't need to change the code every time. and start it is overlapping here. Let's move start here. Okay, so yep, let's drop this one. Let me go to teachable machine again. I'll train one more model now, so I'll call it as Sudeep. The first one is and hold to record. Okay, so in the next one I will have one more game, which is Battlefield. So I'll call it as Sudeep plus Battle. Okay, so let's see now. Train the model again. Okay, so it is detecting me. If I show Battlefield, shows Sudeep plus Battlefield less than 100%. Now export the model. Again export my model. So while it happens, let's go back to construct. So what I want to do is I want to fetch this item, okay, here. So instead what I will do is, so when a list selection is changed, I want to run a program or a function. So function change URL. Okay, so we'll need to have runtime, and let me create a global variable called URL change URL. Okay, so this should be string. So when there is a change, set change URL to list dot selected text. Okay, so now we are adding the selected text to change URL, and we need to fetch this change URL to this URL. So what I will do is, so let's make URL and let's remove this one. And here URL is equal to runtime dot globals dot change URL. Okay, so whenever there is a change, I would like to change the URL global variable as well as I want to run the script. So change URL and runtime. Okay, so let's copy this one, create a new row, paste the link here. So now we have two models, right? So let's do the debug mode. So in list I have to see two models now. You see that there are two, and in change URL, where is the global variable, right? This is the one, right? So if I change it, it should pick up. See that it is picking up, but initially it is blank, so I don't want it to be blank. So for that, what I will do is, okay, so I'll set the change URL. Once we load a list, I'll set the change URL. One second. Right, let me try this one. I think it should work. No, it's not working. So let's do one thing. Let's pick it up from JSON. JSON dot get sorry, path of 0 dot link. And now let's see. You see that it is working. Okay, so let's upload this one now. So when I upload this project, you will not have these links I'm going to remove them. You have to add your own links, and I'm also going to delete this project because you already saw my API links. Okay, so this is not to be shared in public. So I'm doing it only for tutorial, right? So that's okay. Okay, so I'm sorry. Okay, so let's okay, index. um, so let's add the script again. Okay, let's rename it properly to Teachable Machine maybe underscore HTML. Okay, so it will be easy for you to recognize when I upload this project, right? Okay, edit game, upload the files now. Let me delete the old one. So this file will be played in the browser. Yes, save it, view page, run the game. Okay, for a moment I thought it's not working. All right. Okay, so let's try it now. Click on start. It should fetch details from the list. Okay, so it says unidentified model. Okay, so what we are doing here, button on clicked, init, right? So let's click on it again. So I'm doing something wrong. So URL plus model.json and URL.model metadata.json. So where am I going wrong? Okay, you are equal to runtime dot. So let's do one thing. Let's do a console.log to see if it is fetching. Okay, I think I understood this issue. Let me switch it and start it. I'm thinking it should work now. Right, I understood the issue. Right, it's working now. So what I have done is that, so I'm running change URL and I'm setting to URL the value to URL only when there is a change in the selection. So I have to run it at the beginning itself. Okay, so I have to run it at the beginning itself. So that part I have missed out. So now it will work. Okay, so the next one is, so when I choose the next model, for example, if I again start, yeah, you see that the second one is coming in below. I don't want the first one, it should go away. So for that, what I'm thinking is, so whenever there is a change in selection, I'll change the URL, I'll change the global variable, so, and I will reload the um, where is it? Restart layout or something, right? Right. So I'll restart the layout, but once I restart the layout, I don't want to the Ajax to again pick up the models and put it in JSON. I don't want that to happen. So what I'll do is I'll create a global variable. So I'll say it as loaded boolean. Um, so once it is loaded, I don't want this to be running again. So what I'll say, once it is done, set loaded to true. And if it is not loaded, it will fetch. If it is loaded, it will not fetch. Okay. Anything else we are missing? Yeah, on start of layout, if it is not loaded, only then the Ajax should work. Okay, I hope it's clear what we are trying to do. So Ajax will run and add the values to JSON at the beginning of the project. Once we make the change in selection, it will restart the layout. I don't want again the Ajax process to happen again. Alright, so that is why I'm putting a limit. Okay, so let's export now. Hopefully this will be the last export. Okay, so you know what to do now. You have to copy the scripts, go to the index, open with notepad, right, script, paste it here, done. Okay, so let's copy, paste it here. Okay, let's rename it to Teachable Machine underscore HTML, so it will be easy for you when you download this project. Okay, let's edit game, upload the new files. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's start. See, it is working now. Okay, so Deep, it is showing 100%. If I show Tomb Raider, it will show 100%. So again, let's go to the next one, Battlefield. Again, start. Oh, okay, this is not working. Oh, it is working. Okay, we already loaded the global variable. I'm sorry, I stopped. I did not add the. So this is working. I did not fetch this one. Okay, all right. I think clear items. I don't need to clear items. I have to do it only when it is not loaded. Okay, sorry about that. I believe this is a learning to everyone, right? Again, go to index, open with notepad, same thing. Done. Okay, I'm thinking not to. Okay, that's okay. Fine. Okay, view page. Right. Not sure why it is taking a moment to load. Probably because of teachable machine source files. Okay, done. It is working. So I have to. Okay, this is working. So let me switch to the next one. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let me fix this in the construct itself so that I don't waste the time. Okay, let's clear all the items. Okay, so when it is reloading, it is clearing all the items. Actually, it is resetting. Okay, what I will do is if it is not loaded, okay, let me run this one. Okay, so if I switch it, okay, let me remember the ID large it is RQ. So if I pick A1, should show A1. Okay, so by default it is showing the first one. If I go to the change URL, RQ, fine. So if I select the next one, okay, fine, it's A1, the second one. Okay, fine. Okay, this is working now. So sorry about the back and forth, fixing thing. Sometimes I feel confident that code will work fine, but it appears to fail. Okay, so let me delete all of these items. Okay, same thing, you know what to do. Go to notepad, copy these two items. Okay, let's upload it now. Hopefully this will be the last build. Okay, let's switch to the second model. Start. So here's the person battle. It is showing 100. So if I switch to Tomb Raider, the first model, what happened? 1 second. Okay, so there is something wrong, I guess. Let me reload this one. I think I have to change the selection. So this is A1. Okay, so this works fine. So if I choose the first one, which is the previous model, nothing is happening. Okay, so let me check what went wrong. Alright, so the project is done. It's just that a list it is picking up the first item. So let me see what I have done for the previous in the actual project. Okay, I have created one ID. All right. Okay. Okay. Understood. Okay, so object ID. In order to make sure it picks up the right one. So once it changes the URL, so we'll have to change the object ID. So list selected text at selected text index. All right. Also we'll set the selection to object ID. Okay, let's see now. Okay, so if I set the second one A01, so it is picking up the second one. If I open it and select it, it is selecting the first one. Okay, done. Okay, so I'm doing as fast as I can. Okay, so it has picked up the first one, which is Tomb Raider. Okay, it worked. Let me switch to the next one. So it takes a little moment to load it. Oh, I need to click start. I'm sorry. Okay, so let me switch to the old one. Start again. Right. Okay, perfect. Everything is working now. I'm glad everything has went well. I'm sorry for back and forth, you know, fixes. Sometimes I forget what I have done. All right. So this is the project. So I'm removing this link. So I don't include the. I'm planning not to include the HTML project, but let's see. Otherwise, you'll not be able to test it, right? Okay. So I'll upload this project, and you'll find it when the video is up. You'll find the project in the description. All right. So this is all about this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. And if you have any suggestions for me or you want to learn something new, let me know in the comments. I can see, yeah, if I have time, I will work on them for sure. I also work as a freelancer. If you have any project for me, you can reach out to me. My contact and ID and also my Discord server link is provided in the description. Um, you can approach me. All right then. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video.
Hello there, thank you for visiting our channel. Shepherd Games is a developer and publisher of video games, websites and applications and automation. I am Sudeep, the founder of Shepherd Games. I have developed numerous video games ranging from ultra casual to complex real time multiplayer games, automated process flows with scripting and automation using Google Apps Script, and developed static and dynamic websites and applications. You may review some of my work from the link in the description. Along with self publishing, I help my clients to achieve their goals with my development services. If you have a requirement, you may write to me or join my Discord server. The contact details are in the description. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do, as more useful content is coming so you don't miss them.